Alright, hopping into another Beginners League match here. We're still in the first group. We've got Chungus versus Kittsle. Let's get into it. Game number 1. Okay, so on to the right-hand side, we got BigChungus over in the top, Kittsle. I like that BigChungus is using the Badger. Feels pretty on brand. Badger is a BigChungus unit. The Badger or the Boar is a hard requirement in all of BigChungus' decks. Meanwhile, Kittsle, pretty creative approach here. I like Wolf Ferret. We don't see it a whole lot, but it's really cool when you can pull it off. Print F used to do this back when he played a little bit of Tooth and Tail. The famous Protoss Cannon Rusher was a a ferret wolf balloon turret guy and Tooth and Tail for a little bit. So yeah, I like this approach for oh, we got a Mole Rush going on, but it's a little bit botched here. This is going to be a great boon in the early game here for Kittsle. A little bit of overreaction from Kittsle on the turret's going to delay the farms a bit, but not the end of the world. A couple moles do come out, still haven't been around. Oh, careful of that farm. Yeah, that would have sucked if those moles got that farm, but yeah, Kittsle better safe than sorry there with all the turrets, and unfortunate little bit of a fumble there from BigChungus in the early game. So Kittsle gonna enjoy a little bit of an advantage, and you know that's where ferrets really shine, is when you're ahead just a little bit. Ferrets can really put a lot of pressure on if your opponent feels like, well, I can't direct engage in to the ferrets, you know, so then you gotta sit there, dance around with your units, still lose things. So what's Kittsle gonna do? Gonna go for the Falcon. I think Kittsle's playing a pretty unique style here, but their deck is not the strongest in the beginning to middle game, I feel like. I think Kittsle's deck is really going to start popping off in the mid to late game, unless they can do something like a proxy push. And the map gen is also pretty poor here for Kittsle. Well, let me back that up. It's good for Kittsle if they're trying to proxy, like, turret push, right? But it's bad for Kittsle if they want to play a regular game and, like, build farms and stuff. You know, because they could throw some turrets down, like, over here. Unfortunately, not quite on the high ground. But yeah, Kittsle actually just going to go for it. Going to really expand up here. Let's see what BigChungus is going to do. Building a lot of tier 1. I'm a little bit worried for Kittsle. They're playing very greedy. Let's see if BigChungus is going to try to pounce. And if BigChungus doesn't, then this is huge for Kittsle. Yeah, BigChungus is going to move forward. I think this is correct. And this is a little bit tough for Kittsle. I think they got a little bit too big for their britches here. Gonna take that, take the death on that second base, and BigChungus is gonna keep marching forward. This might be a short match here. Let's see, Kittsle's got some money though, gonna try to throw down some emergency turrets, but just not gonna be in time. Yeah, that was a really tough second base for Kittsle to try to expand on. Especially because BigChungus was doing the Barbarian Squall here. You know, when your opponent opens up like that, it's very hard to have any greed at all. You know, the Squirrel Mole will really just go in there and punish very, very easily. And yeah, Kittsle was just trying to play greedy there. I don't blame him. I like playing greedy myself. Okay, nice killer instinct there from Chungus. Good recovery from, yeah, fumbling a bit there in the early game. So let's see if Kittsle kind of learned their lesson being a bit too greedy as we hop into game number 2. All right, over in the top left, the Chungus is among us. In the bottom, we got Kittsle. Hide your potato chips. Hide your soda. The BigChungus is coming. Okay, same decks from both sides, I think, if not pretty close. The Chungus is among us. Ugh. I mean, Among Us was pretty fun for a while. I think where it stopped being fun for me was when people started, like, min-maxing Among Us, right? Like, Among Us was really fun to get, like, drunk with the boys and play on Discord, but I think the time I quit playing was when I would play, and I'd be like, oh no, I was swiping my card. They'd be like, actually, on this spawn, he couldn't have been swiping his card because that wasn't an option for one of the activities if you calculate it. And I'm like, alright, now you've taken the fun out of it. I don't want to do this anymore. My favorite move in Among Us was when you would get caught, like, murdering somebody, and you go into the voice chat, and you just immediately blame the person that caught you. Like, that was the move, right? So if Studios caught me murdering Tatanka, and we get into the voice, I would immediately be like, guys, Studios just murdered Tatanka! Like, I mean, duh, that's the strategy, but I always thought that was what was fun about it. Among Us was a crazy game, too. It really gives me hope for Tooth and Tail, to be honest. I know that sounds crazy, because it is so many years. God, it's almost 5 years later. Tooth and Tail's almost been out for 5 years. But Among Us was, like, really, really small. It was super slept on. Like, nobody knew about it for years. And then, like, some big Zoomer streamer played it, and, you know, it blew up and became, like, the biggest thing in the world for a few months. Oh, we have a gentleman's agreement this game. So, big economies here. I'm excited for Kittsle. I mean, I think BigChungus with the Pigeon, Falcon, Badger is going to have a fine late game. But I'm really excited to see what Kittsle wants to do here, because I feel like Kittsle's deck is kind of a later game deck, right? So the first game they didn't get to quite shine. So I think this is a great map for what Kittsle's trying to do. There's plenty of gristmills in the middle here to try to bounce forward some turrets. Big economies here to get into that Wolf Ferret Falcon. And tier 3 already on the way for BigChungus. Let's see if Kittsle gets that scout. This is an important scout. Kittsle's got some money in the bank, so this would be really good. Oh, I mean, they tried. You know, good attempt there from Kittsle, but didn't quite go deep enough. So what's Kittsle's response going to be? They have a lot of money. I mean, throwing down a tier 3 would just kind of make sense here anyways. Actually going to go with a lot of squirrels. Okay. They still have a ton of money, though, so let's see if we're going to get into some ferrets or a wolf. Doesn't look like it. I think Kittsle's a little bit being a little too cautious here. I think they need to commit to something. They got plenty of money. Let's see it. Yeah, here we go. That's what I'm talking about, Kittsle. A little late, but better late than never. Gonna get their strat going. I think if I'm being critical, I think they should have done that on the last scout, but they did it now, so that's good. Oh, gonna lose the commander, unfortunately, trying to harass with the Falcons. And, oh man, I mean, Chungus has the killer instinct, though. That's what I'm worried about. And they're building the moles. It was Kittsle a little bit too late. They still have a lot of money, though, so they could throw down a bunch of turrets. And turrets actually defend this very well. Going for so many squirrels here. So many squirrels, good lord. What's nice about having this many squirrels is you're gonna reproduce a follow-up army very, very quickly. But does Kittsle have enough punch here to deal with BigChungus of a Badger? And I don't think so. The turrets are behind here. Kittsle trying to hold back. When's the wolf coming? Oh, the wolf was sold. Okay. I think that makes sense. Chungus just trying to be careful with the micro. Doesn't want to lose the Badger. Yeah, nice calculated takedown there from Chungus. I feel Kittsle hesitated just a little bit too much this game. I think they had the opportunity to really get into their tech about 30 seconds to a minute before they did. So that would just be my constructive criticism for Kittsle there. And then also, what is unfortunate about it, though, is that Kittsle did not get the scout off on the Badger. I think if they got the scout off on the Badger, they would have had the confidence to really tech. But since they didn't see the Badger, they weren't exactly sure what Chungus was doing. And ended up playing a little bit too safe. Okay, cool. Oh, Kipo's casting today, too, and Sasha? Ugh. So there's going to be, I mean, it's going to be pretty much non-stop casting today. Sasha, or is that on your channel or on Kipo's? I just want to know for the raid. Nice takedown here from Chungus. Gonna win it 2-0. It's gonna be on Kipo's channel. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do one more series. Nicely done there by Chungus. GG 2-0.